Well, you know, the CBC has a kids propaganda unit. It's written by adults, of course, but it's designed to propagate political ideas to minor children, including children of tender years. I find it very creepy and very bizarre, but it's a project given great importance under Justin Trudeau. Well, they took a subject that is definitely for grown-ups, that of transgenderism, and they weaponized it in a bizarre attack against children's author JK Rowling. Here, watch about 45 seconds of the CBC's Kids News propaganda department.
All right, well, let's get into it. Vina, what has you fired up this week?
Well, I've been following this JK Rowling controversy, and it all started with a tweet she made. Actually, it started with this headline, creating a more equal post-COVID-19 world for people who menstruate. JK took issue with the word people being used. Maybe she was trying to be funny, but she hinted that the publication should have stuck with using the word women. Some fans pointed out that there are lots of those who menstruate who don't identify as women. And then things got a little messy. Lots of tweets back and forth, and at one point, JK fired back with, "My life has been shaped by being female, and I don't think it's hateful to say so."
It's 2020. Releasing these kind of statements online is not a good look.
Oh, and it went on from there. These teens reading perfectly scripted pro-trans attacks on JK Rowling for daring to say women are women. I like how they let the young man there mansplain to JK Rowling that it's not a good look in 2020 to say you're a female. It went on, every word of it written by an adult, handed to those child actors to read, all of it inappropriate for children of tender years. Joining us now via Skype to talk about it is our friend Andrew Lawton, who discovered this. Andrew, I keep an eye on CBC Kids News, but it's not actually something I regularly go to. But this is stuff being pumped out to children. This is radical politics. I don't even think these are kid-friendly discussions at all, let alone weaponizing it and saying JK Rowling is a bad woman. This is so awful. Tell me your thoughts on this and how you came across it.
Yeah, I'm not one of these pearl-clutching, won't somebody please think of the children types. I realize that kids can handle difficult conversations. I fully understand that. But when I was a kid, kids shows were things like Arthur and the Magic School Bus. I wasn't watching the TV to hear about, transgender politics or any sort of politics. The show itself is called Recap, which is pitched as a news show. And it's the irony is it wouldn't even pass the muster as being an adult news show because it's all opinion, but it's pitched as a news show. And on the CBC website, it says that it's for kids age 6 and up. So as young as 6 years old is the target audience in CBC's eyes of this show called Recap. So the problem that I have with this is that they've used very strong language. They've referred to JK Rowling, the beloved author, as, quote, transphobic, a direct quote from the young man on the panel here. They've told her she should read The Room. They've said that those of us who menstruate aren't always female, and they're passing it off as fact. So a 6-year-old who's watching this, who might not even know what menstruation is being told that menstruation is not about whether you're female or not, that anyone can. So there's a lot packed into what was only really a 2-minute clip here. And what I find most troubling about it is that this is pitched as news. It's pitched towards children. And more importantly, it is mocking those who do what J.K. Rowling did, which is talk about something from a biological perspective. J.K. Rowling wasn't being anti-trans. She wasn't being bigoted. She was saying, listen, woman means something. Womanhood means something. And when I saw this, I was actually in disbelief, despite not holding CBC by and large up in the highest esteem for all the reasons I just mentioned. And what was interesting, just on one note here, and I don't know if it was in the clip that was just played, at one point they say Daniel Radcliffe, the Harry Potter film star who actually refuted what J.K. Rowling said. They called him inspiring for advocating for what he believes in, but she's supposed to just shut up.
That's an excerpt from my daily show, The Ezra Levant Show. Every day I do a monologue on the news of the day, then I interview an interesting guest, and then I read my hate mail. You gotta subscribe. Go to rebelnews.com.